Alright, so for those of you who don't know, I am going to use the Silverado for the rebuild. Reason being, there's too many people that don't have the money, so I'm not going to give this truck away. I've come down to 10 grand on it with the audio system in it. As is, dual alternator kit, 4 Kinetic 1800 batteries, both amps, all 4 subs, 16 Focal separates up front. Pretty decent head unit. Everything runs great and everything. The audio system sounds great, functions well, but nobody seems to have the money, so I'm going to go ahead and use it to rebuild. So there's going to be a lot of changes with this truck. There is going to be 32 speakers up front. I got a piece of billet being made for this whole piece right here, pre-drilled for all the tweeters. There'll be 7 tweeters up there, 7 mids in the door panel here, along with the 2 up front and the kick. That'll make 32 speakers total up front. Should get pretty loud with 4 DC Sound Lab 4,000 watt 4-channel amps, or 1,000 watt 4-channel amps. So there'll be 4K up front. These are coming out today. The T1s are coming out today. The amps, the batteries, they're all coming out today. I went and got me a big piece of cardboard so I could template the baffle, because I still need all this dimension the same. So once the subs are out, I'll clamp that piece of cardboard up here and trace it out. That way when I do the next enclosure, that will all stay the same. I think I've put it in a couple videos before. I built this with the intention to wrap the whole enclosure, including inside the door, jam there where the handle is. That way, when I wrapped it with foam and then the finished material over the top, there would be about 3/4, and that would be a little bit heavy, but with closing this door all the way, it would get a nice tight seal. So I'm going to stick with that plan. That was the plan from the beginning, but the design for the subs and the port is going to be different. All the subs will be bunched to the right side. Huge slot port on the left side. No more batteries or amps back here, because I need all of this extra space for the next enclosure. Should be able to get 7 cubes plus all the displacement for the subs, port, and internal bracing. But those are what's going in there. I do need a tonneau cover if anybody knows where to get a tonneau cover for cheap for the Silverado. But I am going to wrap this whole vehicle, and if there's anybody who does sponsor or help out throughout this rebuild, I will definitely inquire their company within the wrap. I'm not going to say who's all involved yet, but there are already some people involved. So stay tuned. When this thing gets wrapped, I'll put a video out and you'll know at that time who was involved in sponsoring this vehicle. So, but anyways, there it is. I got to get to work, get this done. That way I can start on the next enclosure, get the SMDs in there, because everybody wants to see them running, and I do too. So, alright, so I do have all the batteries and everything out. Everything's out so far. I got 1 battery up front, so I can move this thing around. I cleaned the batteries up too. They had some paint on them and stuff. If you don't know how to do that, what you want to do is just wet sand it with some high grit sandpaper and then re-clear it, kind of like you do tail lights and stuff. But anyways, I cleaned those up. Kind of hit a little detour today. Somebody called me wanting this dual alt kit, so I'm going to go ahead and tear that down and put the single alt back on it for now until I get the rest of the alternators on there. There will be 5 alternators on here altogether, so I should have plenty of juice. Lazy enough with this thing. I'm going to get out here today. I got the Sawzall, my drill out. I'm going to go ahead and get this enclosure out of here today. And this is probably one of the only times you'll see me dressed like this. But it's time to go ahead and get dirty and get it done. All right? A little break just to grab the camera real quick and show you guys the progress. Got all the 1 inch off the front baffle, not all of it, but most of it. but I just wanted to grab the camera and show you guys something. For those of you who have never fiberglassed the inside of your enclosure before, I'm going to show you why, those of us who do it, why we do it. These are just my own little homemade cheapo internal bracing here. It's just two little 6x6 pieces of MDF. Got a drilled out hole in the center going into closet dowel rod. That's it. I use Gorilla Glue on the ends. And this thing is just resined. It is not matted. And I'm going to show you something right now. Ain't getting anywhere on it. So gonna have to bust out a mini sledge. That's about the only thing that's gonna help in this situation. So for those of you who have never fiberglassed before, that is most definitely the reason why. I 45'd all my angles. It's not the prettiest job. I'm gonna slow down on the next one. Like I said before, this has always been from the beginning a temporary setup. But for a temporary setup and doing a 153 plus, didn't do too bad. But anyways, that's where we're at this point. So at this point, everything is out. I was able to save the platform, but that's okay. It's gonna come out too anyways. But the next time, all the wires and stuff won't be in here. They'll be ran underneath the truck. The only thing that will be in here will be the enclosure and the subs. But man, this enclosure was a beast to take out. It was in there really well. Actually fastened to the truck and quite a few areas. There's where I lagged it through up there. So not too bad of a job for just a temp setup. And I'm gonna go ahead and darken these windows up. A few things I gotta touch up on, definitely. But at this point, all I gotta do is clean up and get this platform out, get the wires all out and out of the way. It's time to rebuild. So it's really hot here in Vegas. It's been a good day though. I got everything out. Got the truck all vacuumed out and cleaned up on the inside. And I didn't do too good of a job because I plan on getting it really dirty here again in the next day or two. So got to get busy on this next enclosure. There's a few things I got to button up on the prep work for the next enclosure, but I'm going to jump on it real soon so I can get some more vids out for you guys and keep it interesting.